So we've got the First World War's hit Downton Abbey.
Yes.
How's it changed things?
Well, hugely. It's changed everything, you know, as it did in reality. So, yeah, the second series really starts literally with a bang, and carries on in that vein really all the way through. And
it affects the whole household from upstairs to downstairs. Obviously all the boys are called up to war, so you have housemaids serving in the dining room and in the drawing room, which was unheard of before that.
It deals with the war not only at the front but also how it affects everyone back at the house, and it really does kind of, it deconstructs the whole social class in the system.
There's that sort of trying to pretend everything, many of the characters trying to pretend everything's fine and not changing, and of course underneath that surface everything's just going AWOL, but they're all, some of them are clinging on to the past desperately, and others are, you know, really embracing it and making the most of what was there.
Just things are constantly on the change, and they have to do jobs that they didn't have to do before. They just have to muck in and help each other out, which I think they do actually.
they're all experiencing the same kind of emotions through war and the same feelings of loss and love and all the rest of it.
Well, Thomas, when we left him at the end of the last series, he'd handed in his resignation to avoid getting sacked for stealing, and his plan was to go to the medical corps, nice cushy hospital in England somewhere, avoid the war. Everyone's a winner, but unfortunately it doesn't go to plan, and we arrive back with Thomas in the middle of the battlefields of the Somme.
Sybil has reached the end of her tether and can no longer just sit and wait and pretend nothing's happening. And that sort of energy and passion that we saw with her involvement with the suffragette movement and is channeled into nursing.
Branson isn't fighting, he's still at the house, which is by his choice. And throughout the series and second series he makes some pretty big decisions in relation to whether he's going to go and fight, because obviously conscription comes in and he gets called up.
Ethel's new to Downton as well. How does she get on with the staff?
Not very well. Sadly, I think they all find her a little bit annoying. She's quite lazy, but very naive maid, and doesn't quite appreciate that she's working in a very prestigious household.
Ethel's a bit more, well, Ethel's a bit selfish, I suppose, as a character, whereas Anna's very selfless. So, and Ethel's only here as a stepping stone to greater things. She doesn't want to be a maid, and she doesn't want that to be her career, and she's got kind of, Ethel's, I suppose, got delusions of grandeur a little bit.
Whenever a servant joins us who's a bit above themselves, or we think they are, it doesn't go down very well, and she's a little bit full of, you know, what I should be and what I, you know, she's a little bit misguided, should we say, and I don't think Mrs. Patmore was that keen on her really.
She's just a bit of a daydreamer. She just wants bigger and better things. She wants a more exciting life. She wants to be dressed in what they're dressed upstairs and dressed in, and a bit of a romanticist really.
Why should we be getting excited about Downton Abbey?
You need to be getting excited about series 2 because so much happens. It's amazing. Loads of storylines and loads of stuff going on. It's very exciting.
The costume, the set designs, I mean, and this as your backdrop is just fantastic, but the design of it just all looks sensational, and it's so exciting, thrilling, heartbreaking, and you laugh, you cry, you'll kiss your Sunday evening goodbye.
The writing is even better. It's amazing to say, you know, that he's topped it, but I think he honestly has. I think it's got a great mix. It's got the harrowing scenes of war and lots of heartbreak, and you've got the romance element.
I think anyone who watched the first series, the one thing that everyone comes away with is you really invested in the characters, and the reason you should watch season 2 is to see how these characters that you've invested your time in react with the war, their relationships, and how it changes everything.